Thank you.
You do have a quorum.
All right. So the record reflects that we have a quorum. Next item on that. Thank you all very much. So next item on the agenda, well, first of all, are there any action items that we need to take care of? No? If not, then we'll follow the agenda as stated, or as presented rather. Then if I have a motion, if people have had a chance to read over the minutes of March meeting. So if I
Motion to approve.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, say
Aye.
aye. All right, you guys have it. Do we have anyone scheduled for public comment?
No, we don't.
No? All right. Next would be the staff reports and communications.
I'm gonna go over the ridership report, I'm sorry. And there has been an increase in the ridership. I've noticed it every week, at least by 100 riders or 150 riders. And then, so we have, for the month of April, we had a total of 4,402 compared to 3,754. So we have had an increase in ridership.
That's good. And this was you kind of predicted that we would have once.
For April,
Yeah.
after spring break and all that. But the ridership has been increasing though.
But this is the month that will, the beginning of the month, this is when we go down, right? Because of college and.
No, May will
school.
we'll still have ridership in May. I think it's in June and July. Yeah. May for next month, well, May will still be good.
So this is May.
Yeah, but the report is from April.
Oh, this is April, I'm sorry, my
Yeah.
bad, my bad.
Yeah, we're like 1 month behind on the.
Okay.
Yeah. So for the cancellations for the month of April, we had a total of 560. And customers, it has gone down as well. The late cancellations are 281. And for the 24 hours in advance, we have a total of 155 passengers that are calling in advance and canceling. As far as no-shows, I have not seen an increase on that. It kind of remains steady. We had 95 and there's 50 that cancel at the door. And basically there's 20 that no one comes out, they don't answer the phone.
But are these the same people or are these different people?
It's different people and it's different circumstances also. And we had a total of 32 canceling through the phone system. When they call them to confirm their appointments the day before, they're canceling. There's only 32 passengers that actually utilize that service for that month of April. As far as the registered customers, I hope you can understand here, I have the total, that means active, that means that they have renewed their services, they are up to date, and that's a total of 775. And a Lyft has a total of 4,494, and those are active and inactive. And inactive meaning that their eligibility has expired and they have not gone to renew their services. So we still have them on the system so we can have their information in there.
Wouldn't it be best, Mr. Chairman, if I may, wouldn't it be best for us to clear them out and then we can get an actual total so we can go back out, make again, we go back to communication to the public, letting them know that we are accepting applications, because this number here looks very good in, like they say, in black and white. But if you're saying that it's only 775 that are, writing it, then why can't we promote something to where we can actually, the actual numbers will be the actual ones that are using it? Because my casing can be registered, but if he doesn't want to use it for whatever reason, pues va a estar ahí para emergencia, por decir. But if he's not even renewed it or anything, I would strongly suggest that it be removed and let them go through the whole system again if they really want the services. Because there's no sense in having it in black and white. It's not.
Do we have a period of time that where we take them over to inactive or just?
3 years. They have 3 years. It used to be 2 years. We moved it to 3 years. So, well, no, those that have expired are 2 years. So, I guess some have expired to this year, which is 2019. And so I keep them on the file for at least a year and they'll remain active. And then after that year, we'll just change it to inactive. There's no specific, it just depends on the company to decide on how they want to do that. FTA really does not have any, I guess, guidelines or anything like that.
There are no guidelines, there's just, do we have people coming back in after 3 years?
Yeah, well, to renew their services, yes.
Yes.
Yes, they do. They do.
So, with that in mind, is it possible for somebody from the office to be assigned to actually call Mike Kazin? Mr. Kazin, we're just going through our, through our studies, and we're seeing that you haven't been active with the lift for quite some time now. Are you still interested in the services, or can we go ahead and, disregard your application, move on to the next one? I mean, we need to promote it to where we're not just sitting on these numbers. We need to have actual riding passengers.
Well, there was.
Because if we present it to council, oh wow, man, they're doing a great job. Oh wow, what got 1,500 people, but we've come to realize only 775 are actually using it.
There used to be an organization that was charged with doing that, if I remember right, but that was a bunch of years ago.
I don't
Yes.
Best.
Right now, we don't have a budget to be paid.
That's
There's
I
no
think
nothing.
they were
more.
doing it through a grant.
That's not nothing new.
Weren't they
They're
doing it through
using
a
it for the
grant?
bike lanes, so
I have no idea. I know she would pay rent and whatnot there, but I really don't know how.
How it
We
worked.
do send them renewal notices 1 month prior, and that we do. We keep track of all that, and we let them know that their services are going to expire 1 month from when they receive the letter. And so most of them do renew. We do, look, I had 15 renewals for that month for April. I had a total of 12 registered clients. So, I mean, it's not that we're not doing anything about it. They are renewing their services.
No, but not everybody, that's what I'm saying. We have 1,484, correct?
Mhm.
Okay, so out of those 1,484, correct me if I'm wrong, you just say that 775 are the most active ones?
Yes.
Okay, so what happens to the other half? Because it's probably about half right there.
Yeah, they have not, they just, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
They didn't renew their
So it's
services.
kind of like you're using the same concept that the county clerk does for the voters. Well, I guess it's the elections administrator.
Administrative.
So it's kind of the same thing. They go into, they're registered, but they're not active voters, kind of thing.
Basically, that's what the answer is.
If that helps you better understand.
That's
then
what-
yes.
It's because I'm trying to picture it, because I know, like, for instance, if you have an insurance license, and if you don't renew it by a certain time, then it's not just inactive, it's like you're done.
Mhm.
And then you've got a certain amount of time to renew. Of course, there's penalties and all this other
Mhm.
stuff to do that. But in this case, what we're doing is we're just basically putting them into a different bucket
Mhm.
and just keeping them there or parking them there.
Well, we have to keep the records for record retention purposes. We do need to
And
keep the
record
records.
retention is 3 months? 3 years?
No.
No?
No. This is renewing their services. As far as record retention, I would need to see what the policies are for the city of Laredo. They might be 5 years, I'm not sure.
Because if it is, because maybe I misheard, but we're keeping it there so that their information is there. So I guess I jumped ahead. I was assuming that it was based on the record retention, that we need to have the files there, and then once the
No,
files
this has
are
nothing to do with
No.
that. This is based
So
on.
two separate
the-
issues?
Yes.
Okay. Brain jump.
The next report requested by the PAC committee members is the total trips for wheelchair customers for the month of April. There was a total of 51. And as of right now, we have a total of 180 wheelchair customers with the with the Ellipse services.
With the lift, with none of the fixture, right?
No, we don't, this is all paratransit, nothing to do.
The 180.
This is nothing to do with fixed route.
We still haven't figured out how to kind of count how many people or anything to see how many people are utilizing the fixed route.
Yep, the graph is right here. So, the fixed route wheelchair boardings
numbers, it's
for
just,
2019.
I got you. On those numbers.
All right.
We had a total of 353 for the month of April, wheelchair boardings.
Got it.
For March, we had a total of 248, for February, we had 187, and for January, we had 161.
Okay, the information on that one, Sandy, it's going on based on not enough room in the vans, or they just wanted to be taken, they just want
This
to
has
take this
nothing to
route?
do with paratransit.
They just want to go on the regular bus?
Mhm.
That's what we're saying,
These are people that are utilizing the fixed route.
that fixed route?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, because I mean, just as a visual, like, just not actively at all. But visually speaking, I've been seeing more and more people utilizing it, yeah.
They want to be independent
Yeah.
renters. And not,
And that's good. In a way, it's good to them. You know, it shows that they're still willing to push themselves on that wheelchair regardless of the fact.
what's the next report? Revenue report. Mr. Gustavo will explain that report.
Oh, well, I guess as you can see, pretty much everything is still in the, nothing's in the red, nothing is in negative numbers. And like we had mentioned before, it's broken down by month, so we're still good on each balance. And it just keeps rolling over, whatever negative line item, we just transfer and keeping everything above. But so far for like our operations, support services, administration, maintenance, fuel, lubricants, we still have a balance of 13,362. Under insurance, we still have a balance of 54,530. Under information technology, we still have 10,863, which is like everything IT, our internet, phone lines, stuff like that. And our personnel account is still 594,979 in the balance.
What is our fiscal year end date?
No, I'm back in this one, no.
October.
No, I don't
So it's October?
October.
Yeah, till October, so we're still, I mean, these are the important accounts, so for sure they all have to stay on top, so we're still doing good.
This is as of April, right?
Yes, as of April, yes.
Operating in the black, that's it.
I guess
I guess
that was
the
the-
update on the who?
Was it maintenance?
Oh,
Maintenance.
the maintenance report, it's, I don't know, you have the lift vans and then you have the fixed route buses, because you know you're always asking about the fixed route buses.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
We used to have a committee just for fixed route
Really?
back then. The miles traveled for the month of April was 26,474. And for the fixed route buses, we had a total of about 149 and 528 miles traveled. Their PMs are done 100%, and also for the lift vans. That means they do their monthly maintenance every month. And the miles traveled between road calls, that's, I mean, it can be anything from vehicle breakdowns to, I don't know, the fare box not working or something like that. And so it'll show you the miles right, it's not that many miles, 148, and for a lift, it doesn't have any miles, so that's a good thing.
Yes.
So, what else? And that's about it.
Because we don't use deadhead miles anymore.
Not on the.
We don't report, I mean,
Not on the maintenance.
they don't report this maintenance department.
No, maintenance no, but I'm talking about just, we don't do deadhead.
We don't, I mean, we don't, if we need to report it, I mean, we don't report the deadhead miles, do we? No.
Yeah, we were just doing that, well, this was several years back. Because, but then again, you've got scheduling software and all that that should hopefully.
On this, we used to do that because everything was done manually.
Yeah. And then we went to the trapeze and
Yeah.
there was issues
Not
there.
to,
Route match.
Roughly. And route match gives you real time.
Mm-hmm. It's a good scheduling software.
Make a motion to accept the reports as so presented.
So moved.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Yes, the other one.
New item.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, I know I called you earlier and I said I have to be out of here by a certain amount of time. Speaking, and I know I spoke to Sandy and I spoke to Mr. Herrera earlier. I just find it hard to understand, hard to believe, when we want to do customer service, and I work customer service, Mr. Chairman, I work customer service, I've been working customer service for the last 12 years. And prior to that, I worked, Webb County, city, school district, it's been all about customer service. But the only thing that kind of, you can say bothered me today was knowing that Ms. Centeno had a ridership earlier today, okay? And knowing with all due respect that she deserves, and no disrespect to anybody, but maybe she forgot, maybe she needs to be reminded somehow, but knowing that the dispatchers know that there is a meeting today. Oh, by the way, Ms. Centeno, I see that there's a meeting today, because I understand, my understanding is that every single driver, they know about when our meetings are, or should know, or should be advised. Then I find it hard to believe that one of the dispatchers, that they knew that Ms. Centeno had a previous engagement with a Lyft van earlier today, they could not say, oh, Ms. Centeno, you know what? We didn't see you on the rider for this afternoon. You don't have an appointment, to go to the meeting. I understand you're one of the PAC members. I mean, the dispatchers know every single number. They know Rosie very well. She's not like a newbie. So why not go that extra mile and say, you know what, Ms. Centeno, you're not on the list. Are you going to need a ride? Make sure and call right now, because it's already getting late. You might not get a ride. Right now, she wanted to come. And she called me right now and she said, I'm very upset about this because we're not giving that customer service. And to a standing, she is on the right foot and she is saying the correct words. It's not customer service, because they know for a fact that she needs to be here. Why not go that extra step for her? It's an elderly person. And I don't mean it by disrespecting her. Well, I'm not disrespecting her, but I mean, ya es una señora grande de edad. Se le puede olvidar, just like we're all human.
Se me olvidó a mí la semana pasada.
We're all human. So why not go that extra step and say, hey, and I guess that would come from Rose or would come from Sandy. Hey, girls, if you don't see Ms. Centeno on the next one, hey, ayúdenle. That's customer service. That's putting the red carpet out there for them.
I
To my words.
understand your point, Mr. Avila, and I agree with you. But if we're gonna offer that to Ms. Centeno, we're gonna offer it to everybody.
That's the way it should be in the very
No van
first
a
place.
tener tiempo para hacer appointments.
No tienen tiempo ahorita, no tuvieron tiempo para ir a levantarla.
We don't, I mean, it's, you've been there.
Okay,
You know,
I think-
same day
and that's
service,
exactly-
same day service,
And that's exactly the way I'm saying
Same
it.
day, same hour is,
That's the
you've been
reason why
there.
I'm saying it, because of the fact that we don't go sometimes that extra mile. And that's the reason I'm
And the
bringing it
extra
up.
mile, if it's gonna be done, it's gonna be done for
It has to be
everybody
done.
who's registered.
It's a
Everybody.
must thing
I
to
have
be
a
done.
question that would be more procedural than, I mean, I see both sides of what's going on, but procedurally, how often can someone, or for how long of a period of time can someone schedule, like a standing order, or, yeah, I guess it's a standing
O
order.
sea, por ejemplo, is it like a permanent, you mean, or?
Could be a permanent, could be, I mean, like, for instance, if somebody's going through chemo or something like that.
That's an automatic. Well, at least when I was there, it was a renewal of we knew exactly who was going. Mike Hazen goes every Monday at 6 o'clock in the morning. We just put him on.
Yeah, but there is a percentage that you have to follow as well. As per
Correct,
the
but if this is an appointment that is a meeting every second Tuesday of the month, that should be the same thing as a chemotherapy or a doctor's appointment. There's no difference. There's no difference. It's a meeting, it's something that she has to attend. Just the same way if she had to attend chemo. I see no difference on either side. It's still an appointment for the young lady, for the lady. I see no difference in that. And that's where I'm kind of disappointed, because she called me, she was kind of like, look, Rosie, I said, we're gonna talk about it, I'll bring it up to the chairman, let's see what can, what can be discussed.
And I'm guessing that part of the reason that she's maybe upset with it is because this would be counted as her second time.
Well, according to her, I believe Mr. Guerrero told her that she would not be counted absent.
No, yeah, I would check.
So that was, that was something that she was kind of, I said, what do you mean you're not gonna be counted absent? I said, that's not what we discussed last time. That's why I stayed today. I'm supposed to be on the road for my daughter's graduation, because I wanted to be there the whole week, and if I had mentioned it prior. But I stayed because this would have been my second time I would be here, and I don't wanna get close to that third strike. So I'd rather, be
Where is
here
she at? Who? Miss Centeno?
at home.
No, where is she at as far as the
Oh,
attendance?
I don't have it with
This,
me.
But this would have been.
this would be her second one.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know that I missed one and she missed that same one.
Yeah, both of y'all missed it on that day.
True.
So this is her, actually, this is her second one.
I'm not sure, it might be her third. I don't know. I don't wanna, go on record saying that because I need to check.
Yeah, check my files, I keep on.
Because the only one that I recall that Ms. Centeno being absent is when Mike was out, and then this one. But then no,
We will
I
check our
think,
records.
I think Sandy's right, you know why? Because we were upstairs and me and you said that it was rare for her not to be here.
Yes.
Because you even
This would
called
be
her
her
several
third one.
times. Remember that she wouldn't answer, something like that?
Yeah, so this would be her third.
Yeah.
So that, and that's why I'm saying, it's very, very hardship, it's very, and I don't wanna be sounding rude or anything, but I know if there's a way, there's a will, and there's always a way. We always make ways for people, especially at that age. A senior citizen that is trying to serve her community to the best of her standards. That's my point of view, Mr. Chairman, but then,
And like, okay, I understand. Do we have policy? I know in the one that got like wiped out, we had put and established a policy about how many times, and how often, and how far in advance, and that kind of thing. Is there one now?
For what?
For a client to be able to schedule, and how many times can they schedule, and how far in advance can they schedule?
I
and
think
all
it's
that?
2 weeks in advance.
It's
they
in
can
the
schedule
7 days in advance policy.
it.
The writer's guide, it states 7 days, you make an appointment a week before. Do we do same day appointments? We do, if there's space available, we will. If there's no space, customers might not become, they're understanding. During this, our peak hours are from, I would say, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., 9:30, maybe 10. And in the afternoons, it picks up around 4 to
7.
6:30. And so requesting a same-day trip around those peak hours is extremely difficult. You already have your passengers who did call in advance, 7 days in advance, who have their subscription service, who are using our services.
Well, but then she would have been in violation of that anyway, because we posted and we were told 5 days in advance.
Well, even a week before that, because we rescheduled it. It was supposed to be scheduled 1 week, last
No,
Tuesday?
we had to change the date because of the
typo.
Yeah, typo.
No, still, last week.
So,
We understand her concern, but we stand, I'm here representing, we work for our customers, and there's like Mr. Avila says, there's 700 and some customers. And I believe, and I say this, I know that Rosa would agree, and Gustavo would agree, that everyone should be treated equal. And the same rules will apply for all customers for paratransit. And I will help out each customer. They call me and they ask me for, if they have a customer complaint, I help them out. I go above and beyond in helping them out. If they need some adjustments to their schedule, I will help them out. If we can, we can help them out.
Okay, and if I may rebuttal on that, Sandy, what you just said, that you're all for the customers, but then, okay, and I don't doubt you, but what I'm saying is, you just stated that if we do for one, we do for all, correct?
I stated that.
You stated that, okay. So that means we're not doing it, because if we do it for one, we do it for all, that means we're just letting dispatchers do it.
As far as
Hold
that.
on, let me finish. What we're saying is, they're scheduling, Mike Casey's scheduling the appointment, right? Okay, knowing that he's a committee member, hey, Mr. Casey, are you gonna still want your appointment for tomorrow? Oh, thank you for reminding me, you know what, yes I am. Oh, are you gonna need one for tomorrow? Yes I am. So we're not reminding, or we're not going that extra mile, because you just say, if we do it for one, we do it for all. So we're not doing it for her or for nobody else. That's the assumption that I'm getting.
No, if you want us to do special privileges.
No, not special
I mean, because that's
privileges.
not-
I'm talking about complete
apologize,
table.
Because that is what, por eso digo.
Complete table, but then you just said, we do it for all.
Mhm.
Pero no lo están haciendo because y'all didn't do it for Ms. Centeno. So that means you're not doing it for Mike Casey neither.
We don't call everybody on the list to remind them of their appointment.
But-
No, sir, we don't.
Could that be something that we can do? Because if I recall, for them to certify that the appointment is gonna be done, oh, Mr. Casey, you have an appointment tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning, are you still gonna be needing your appointment for tomorrow?
It's the automated phone system. It reminds them a day prior. It calls them between the hours of 6 and 7 and reminds them that they have an appointment the next day.
Exactly. So why can't we,
But that's an
Do this-
automated system, Mr. Avila.
I understand that.
So what you're saying is that if they already have an appointment.
If they
it will
have a
move on.
scheduled appointment
But
that,
if they don't have an appointment, it won't say
Mr.
like.
Casey, how are we supposed to know all 700 customers that we have and their
If they're
schedules?
gonna
If they have
use it
their
or not, I
schedules.
mean.
because this is a every Tuesday appointment that she has for parent transit pack
I
committee.
mean, what we can do is look into maybe if there's a permanent, and we can put them in put her in as a permanent, but she will get the reminder. We have to see where we stand as far as the percentage. Y que, o sea, que esté every Tuesday.
Yeah,
Whether that's
because-
quorum or not,
It
whether
just
that's
has-
not
But
quorum,
you're saying,
but
but if you're
that's,
saying it's every Tuesday, then she would have to
No.
cancel.
she
Every
would have
second
to
Tuesday of the
cancel.
month.
Yeah, the second Tuesday, okay.
Every second Tuesday of the month.
So the people that are on dialysis that go every day or every 2 days or 3 days or whatever, if they miss one, they don't get a reminder, hey, you missed one or anything like that.
What do you mean?
Like, the people that sign up because they're going to dialysis, and generally speaking, when you're in dialysis, it's gonna be a set
No.
number of times a week. So if they miss
Well,
one,
yeah, they do.
yeah, if they miss one, they're not, because they.
No, we don't cancel the other two. Say like if they go to dialysis, say Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays,
Mhm.
or Fridays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we don't, o sea, si no van el lunes, they still have the other appointment. Unless they advise us that they're in the
But
hospital.
what if they made their appointments, but they forgot their Friday appointment? Does that ring a bell or no? The Monday, Wednesday,
Well, I
Friday, they
think
forgot
that's
Friday?
that's kind of a hard example, because if you're gonna do dialysis, you know.
That you
Yeah.
I
have those
mean, you're gonna
appointments.
have to be in
That's
an
true.
ambulance.
That's true, yeah, because you do need a.
O sea, because say like if you're going to the one in Guadalupe, you're either going on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, or Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
Yeah,
Everybody's different.
yeah, they're all.
Sí.
Pero, o sea, we know and we don't go, but we know qué días van.
Mhm.
You know, but given Mrs. Centeno's activity, and I guess that she's more concerned that it's gonna be the third strike on her.
Right.
And I think some consideration should be done that somebody dropped the ball, whether it was her or whether it was the transit, you know, but you can't put them on notice and say, well, you gotta do this, you know, it's everybody's own responsibility. But if we knew ahead of time that we had to go pick her up or something, some one of us might have gone, I would have gone if I had time, you know, but sometimes I don't.
And that's just, and exactly, Mr. Castro, that, you just mentioned it, the words, the magic word right there. Staff and dispatchers know that this meeting, and every driver knows that this meeting is going on right now.
Yeah.
So they had a heads up. It's not like, oh, we didn't know that the meeting was today. So why not? I mean, you saw her this morning. You literally took her somewhere and took her back home. Why not?
Why didn't she say anything?
That could be another option. And I understand that. That's a good point, Mr. Geiser, and I understand that. But she's on to the point that she said, como digo, she thought she was already on the ridership. And that's why she called Mr. Villarreal and asked her at the last minute, could she have how do you call those last minute appointments? What do y'all say that y'all call it? Same day service. That's why she called Mr. Villarreal and asked her earlier, when I spoke to her, I think it was about 3 o'clock, somewhere around there. That's when she called me back and she said, no, they told me that there was no room for me down here. Now, preferably it's understandable, and that Mr. Geiser brings up a good point. You know, she should ask the driver, hey, am I on for this afternoon? Again, we go back to another one. Did she,
Well, can
was she
we-
aware, because of the fact that she's not looking at her emails, that what we talked about earlier also, Gustavo and I, that we're not responding as well to the emails that Gustavo is sending? You know, she doesn't read the emails. So
Okay.
how is it that we're communicating to her? I told Sandy I was trying to get her through Facebook Messenger. You know, so, I mean, we are trying, but as colleagues. But what else can we do on your side of the town? And again, I understand what Rose is saying. We don't want to do that special red carpet, but I know there's got to be something that we can do.
See, I think I got the tail end of where you were trying to call him to call you, maybe to go pick up.
And I mean, we do try, because like I had mentioned, like the text messaging is from my personal phone,
Mhm.
so I take that, so we do take an extra step.
Yeah.
And I mentioned to Miss Santana, my phone had broken, I just got a new phone, so I lost her new phone number. But we do take that extra step to try and communicate with everybody, because I know maybe not everyone gets their laptop or whatever, and a text message makes it easier.
Correct.
So we do try that extra step. This last meeting, because I mean, I just didn't have my phone, I just got a new phone and I communicate with her. And I mean, like I mentioned too, I mean, I try my best on my own and we try to do as much as we can. But I mean, the circumstance was different, I guess. Maybe the phone would have done a difference, I really don't know. But we do try and go above and beyond to get everyone to remind them,
And I saw it this morning.
A reminder.
to make sure. I
And
mean,
you sent a
we'll do it
reminder
like,
yesterday also.
we'll do it
Well,
like a
can
week
we-
before, the day
Can
before.
we, as the board, excuse our absence and
See, that's what I wanted to look into this last time when we went into that round of, but we never got clarification as to whether we
It's
could or
good.
couldn't.
Cause it's like a dark spot, cause I know in our bylaws it states, cause we have our own,
Mhm.
so it was like, that's where it's like dark, do we follow the bylaws, or is it?
We never got that actual, because it was, in the bylaws, we can excuse.
Mhm.
In whatever directive we've gotten,
But were we made aware by Mr. Real, if you remember correctly, that you said that we were running under the same guidelines as city council was?
Yes. And then our bylaws, I had spoken to Mr. Kate and we tried to check, or we do have a small clause in our bylaws. So maybe our bylaws will
I think if you follow our bylaws, o sea, lo que no esté en lo de nosotros, then you go through the cities. If I'm not mistaken, that's how it should
In
be.
other words, we can work
because
around
we
it.
don't,
Yes.
we don't
Same.
supersede the city, but we do.
O sea, if we have our own, which we do,
That's the
we
same thing, I
follow
just say
those.
we work around
If
it.
it's not in there,
We can work around this.
there you follow whatever the city has.
Yeah, we can't supplant, but we can,
Yes.
yeah, I got it, okay.
If I'm not mistaken, that's how it works.
I think so, and I think you could make a motion and we go on to that, because this is a board, that I can understand somebody that continues, didn't show up. I remember when we first started, there was a whole bunch.
And if anybody-
Don't even go there.
Anybody for not showing up, it was Miss Sandeno.
Yeah.
And I'll make it very formal, that if we continue, that's why I sent the email, that if we continue on the point of not being able to attend, I'd rather just step down, because wasting time from work, I'm pretty sure all of us have work at the offices, I'm pretty sure we all have something to do, but if we cannot be committed 100%
Right.
to the committee that we were appointed to by our city council members,
Right,
then we have no business in this
exactly,
committee.
yeah,
We need to be firm, we need to be forward, and we need to shoot straight.
yeah.
Either we're in or we're out. Everybody has an emergency, by all means. Nobody says that, we're never gonna have one.
Yeah.
Right.
But we must, and I truly, honestly believe that we must make that extra effort. This gentleman is a new member, he's one of the newest, well, now we got two other ones, but Mr. Sanchez is one of the newest ones. He's been here since he's been appointed.
And the two new ones?
And to the two other ones, and then he's talking about, oh, y'all need to let us know on time. Well, hello, from the last meeting that we had upstairs, Sandy and Mr. Garel stated what date we were gonna be here. So what's so hard to understand that it's gonna be every other Tuesday, or second Tuesday of the month?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense.
You always give it, that's even better.
Can we do this then? Can we, I guess what I'm hearing, that the sentiment or the feel of the committee is to at least this time, excuse
Mhm.
Ms. Centeno's absence due to the circumstances
Right.
that created the absence, unless we are told otherwise by legal. Is that what I'm hearing? That we...
I'll make that motion.
You'll make the motion? Okay.
And I'll second that.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to excuse this absence from Ms. Centeno based on the set of circumstances that caused the situation, unless we're overridden by legal. And so, is that a fair restatement?
Right.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Call for the vote.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, so that's, now the new items, I guess that would be considered something under new items? Because that's update on member vacancies. Okay, so in case anybody was wondering where that fits in the agenda, it's update on member
Just
vacancies.
rolled into
Yeah.
I
And
want
we-
to make the rules.
And I think we already got the update on the new member vacancies. We actually only have one that has not appointed, one city council member that has not appointed. So, we'll be working on that again. I guess, since we're just about to run out of
A quorum.
a quorum, do we have anything in here that's an action item?
No.
No. Okay, so, what on this can we have, like a very brief update that we don't have to have a quorum anyway, so we can, this would just be a report.
Real quick, I know Mr. Avila has to leave. We are, you all mentioned here status, IDLIP surveys. Effective tomorrow, we're going to have an individual who will be calling our passengers to ask them how our service was, how their experience was. And so once we have the results on that, we'll bring the report for the next meeting.
Okay, excellent. And
Question, inside or from
No,
outside?
outside.
Outside source?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
That's pretty much
Great
it.
job.
Okay,
So
Basic.
you'll have that report. We're gonna include that on the, on the
Main
next
report.
yeah.
Great. And then the monthly pass cards,
That is still,
still in the works.
yes.
Okay.
As far as all I can say is that they can buy their tickets at the customer service department and they can call
How
also.
much would that be?
They're $1.75 per trip, so
$17.50.
$17.50 for a 10 ride packet.
Mhm.
And then if it's
many
$2,
of them.
right? $2. And then I think we do have the other ones at $2.25.
That's it, just 75.
They come in a packet of 10 trips, so it's 40 bucks for the
They can
next
buy
one.
as many as they want to buy,
Yeah.
even for the whole year.
They can call, request it, and they'll have it ready. They can just go pick it up and pay. They can pay with a credit card, check, or cash.
We're just looking for the update on the rechargeable card from either the website or something. I'm trying to remember exactly how we're going to do that.
Yeah.
That would be a
Okay.
return card.
Yeah. And the other thing is the funding, the status for the funding for LitPat.
I think that's still pending. I think
Okay.
Mr. Sanchez has an update on that. We received your email.
We've been pushed back and background because of all these things that are going on, because of the water rates, because of the trails, because of, we're not at the forefront, we just keep pushing it back because of all these other things.
Okay, that's cool.
But I did meet up with somebody from, what was it? I stated his name, Rolando Quintanilla.
Yes.
He has a transportation and an import-export industry. And he said that he saw us on the news and he's like, hey man, this is BS. What can we do to help, like from the private industry?
Right.
Yeah, and I didn't want to mention it to him. I was like, hey, but can you loan us a few $1,000?
Donation.
Yeah, but
Well, we can-
but he is a very, very well. He's according to people that I know, they're mentioning that he's like the top 3 in the city. And in terms of import export, Mr. Quintanilla, he said that he was willing to help and he wanted to sit down at one of the meetings when he got back from vacation. So hopefully the next one.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Hopefully
so we
we'll have
can hear.
more.
Yeah, so let's see.
No, that'd be
Nice.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Maybe I can check with
Yeah,
legal.
I'll
That's fine.
I'll check with legal on the,
On accepting
on
the,
accepting private.
yeah.
That way we're informed also.
There is a gift policy, but I don't know what it is anymore. I know that there was one, but that we had to follow certain procedures and it had to be done a certain way. But what it is now, I don't know, because there were times when it was very lax. Yeah, I don't think it's like anymore. Excellent, so thank you. And the hours of operation, I believe you were asking more for.
The scheduling.
The scheduling for, yeah.
How does that work?
It's the same, it's 8 to 5, Monday through Sunday, for them to schedule appointments.
Okay, let me ask you, until what time is the dispatcher there?
10:30.
So you mean to tell me from 5 o'clock that the doors close, that I remember, from 5 o'clock to 10:30, the dispatcher is completely, I mean, working 24/7 on it?
There's still appointments at that time, and we have.
No, that I understand that there's
Oh.
appointments, but that she could be making appointments to actually better serve the community.
She's at, well, actually, he, she, or whoever the dispatcher is,
Right.
it's what we call, optimization of the appointments.
Mhm.
And so that's when they get coordinated, and that's when, that dispatcher's responsibility is to make sure that all the appointments that are assigned to the drivers for the next day, she makes sure that everything is correct, and she needs to verify all reports, verification too. At the end of the day, she needs to verify that all the vans, the drivers, that everything is correct, so that's the responsibility of the dispatcher at the end of the day.
So the one in charge in the morning is not doing them anymore like they used to?
In the morning, yes, both the morning dispatcher and the evening dispatcher, they both have a huge responsibility to get the day started and to end the day as well.
About 7 months on.
Mhm.
Okay.
Very good.
I'll keep quiet now.
In that case, I don't think we have any items for executive session, is that correct?
No, we don't.
Good.
Mr. Geisler, your favorite motion?
I move.
And I second on that.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Well, you know, nobody take it.
I'm at Palenque Grill